Welcome to the new podcast, episode number 41. My name is Steven. I am joined, as always, by producer and co-host extraordinaire, Kelly. My man, let's get to it. What a card we had last night. I cannot believe it. UFC putting on one hell of a show in the hometown of the UFC, Las Vegas. What a show, man. We'll get to all that later on. The free agency news is going crazy. Obviously, the landing of Kawhi and the hockey free agency news this week as well. Kelly, man, oh man, did we ever have a week filled with sports, news, and entertainment, man. There was also an M1 card this weekend. Wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good, that's for sure. Didn't wow me. It was pretty lackluster. It was one of their minor league cards, so it wasn't great. But let's get to some fight news here. Had a great night last night. Got to give a shout out to the St. Martin Pub, hosting the event as they always do. Closing the place down just for the new crew. I tell you, we had a great time last night. Joanna Jędrzejczyk will be taking on the karate hottie Michelle Waterson. Fight Night 161, July 3rd, Kelly. What a step in competition for Michelle Waterson. You know what I mean? To take on Joanna. How kind of crazy is that, eh? What do you think about that one, Kelly? Who do you think is going to win that one? You know, Michelle Waterson's still kind of untested, had a few losses to any kind of tough competition, and Joanna, who can't seem to get in the winning column as of late.
Mm-hmm. I think Michelle's actually been doing a lot better lately. Like, she's been improving a lot all around, not just like in her striking, but wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I think she got us a good chance. Like, I think Joanna's kind of like... She doesn't have that killer instinct really anymore. She's
big time.
She's not what she used to be, and a little bit of fear behind it instead of like confidence is what I was trying to say.
No, big time.
So if Michelle goes in there confident and she goes in there unconfident, I could see Michelle winning.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. No, I totally agree with you. That's what I'm only saying is like it's a 50-50 fight. Two people kind of the same, one going up, one coming down in their career at a very tough division. And I would tip the scales to Waterson, but does Joanna's veteran aspect play a bit more into it, where she's been in those 5-round fights? This is going to be a main event too. I don't know if Michelle Waterson has. I think she may have been once or twice, like on like some like low end card, in some buttfuck town in America. You know what I mean? Because I want to say like she fought Rose. I want to say that was a main event. I could be mistaken though. I could be mistaken if it was. If it wasn't, it was definitely a co. But I'm not 100% sure.
It wasn't a main. It should have been.
Yeah, big time, big time.
I think those two people would just be main event.
Oh, big time. I think it was. That's why I think it was. But here she's headlining now, in definitely the toughest fight of her career. In Joanna Jędrzejczyk, going down July 3rd. No, it can't be July 3rd. It's August 3rd. Idiot over here. Hold on a second. We can pull out the calendar. In other fight announcement news, we see Jack Hermansson's newest opponent is going to be Jared Cannonier, going down UFC Copenhagen, September 28th. So now that September has been booked up for the UFC now with all the cards they have there, going international for September for the UFC. Where Jack Hermansson tries to ride a huge win streak against another dude who is finding a home at 185. Guy fought at heavyweight in Jared Cannonier, coming down all the way down to 185 and getting it done, with his recent victory over Anderson Silva, with that bad knee injury, but still a win's a win. And we see two up-and-coming new faces to the 185 division. I think whoever wins this could actually get the title shot. What do you think, Kelly? Do you think the winner of this deserves a title shot?
I think so.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, because Hermansson's coming off beating Jacare. Jared Cannonier coming off beating Anderson Silva. That's some pretty big names, even though Anderson Silva's far from being relevant. But look what happened to Israel. Basically got a title contender shot right after he beat Anderson Silva.
Sometimes all it takes is a big name.
Yep.
I think they just have to put on, a show, basically.
Yeah.
Show that they actually want the title shot.
And I think they will. I think I almost kind of tipped the scales a little bit to Jared Cannonier just for his striking prowess as opposed to Jack Hermanson, where Jack Hermanson's so great on the ground. But if it does go to the ground, I think it's easily going to be his fight to take it, just because Jared Cannonier's okay on the ground, but he's not great. So we could see a quick submission by the Joker, Jack Hermanson. I'm actually pretty excited for that. And I think they're actually, I don't know if it's, no, it actually is headlining. So maybe it is going to be a main event.
Contender.
Yeah, number one contender. Yeah, maybe it is going to be a number one contendership bout, which I'm not arguing with. I tough call though. Another flip of the coin. The UFC putting on these kind of, number 4 versus number 5 fighter. You know what I mean? I've never really been a huge fan of that for making fighters. Like, you don't do that in other sports, so why would you do it for, they especially don't do it in boxing either, so why would they do it in the UFC? It's kind of odd. Matchmakers doing a terrible job. Give me a call, Dana. I'll fix you guys right up. Local talent Arjan Bowler from Richmond has now signed a new deal with ONE FC, not the UFC. Guy's riding a 2-fight win streak. Great prospect. Doesn't get the money he wants from the UFC and decides to take his talents to Singapore and ONE FC. Kind of crazy. You know what I mean? A guy, but he's from the lower mainland in BC, so it's a quick flight from here to there. I'm sure it's not that quick, but still, I'm sure there's very often flights running from here to China, so I'm sure it's not going to be hard for him to stay in BC and train and fly over there to fight. So I think that's good for him. I hope he got paid. His first opponent's already been announced too. He's going to be taking on Mauro Corelli, and it's going to be at Dawn of the Heroes August 2nd. So he's fighting right around the corner as well, fighting just in a month's time. Going to be having his debut. But how fucking weird is that, Kelly? Dude, he's I think he's 3-1 in the UFC. You know what I mean? And they don't re-sign him at a heavyweight. This is the problem with the UFC. You're letting your heavyweights walk. Stupidest move I've ever seen, letting this guy go over to ONE FC and not paying him what he deserves. He's got a great record. He only has 1 loss. You know what I mean? You guys got 1 loss. I think that's great to get that 1 loss out of the way. And then, and they don't have that 1 loss jitters. But then to come off of a 2-fight winning streak and to get cut, this is fucking unheard of. Absolutely unheard of. And like I said, especially at a heavyweight when they're desperate for him right now. Gonna go and cut it, but I guess, here we go again. Where that UFC name garners you money somewhere else. The free agency market is so hot right now with these other organizations. We're especially seeing it in WWE as well with AEW. AEW may not be as big as a lot of the hipsters would like, but it's getting dudes paid. And that's the important thing. These guys are like, well, I'll leave then and take my name somewhere else. And WWE doesn't want to see that. And that's what we see here is UFC's like, I don't even give a shit. Go ahead. Go make ONE FC some money. And we'll pay you again when you go on a 10-fight win streak or something like that. You know what I mean? Until then, don't call us. We'll call you or type shit, right? I just thought it was weird. August 2nd, though, that card will go down. Actually, I'm interested now. That's also the same card as... there's a lot of fights on that one with Demetrius Johnson in his second match in ONE FC banner, and so is Eddie Alvarez too. Those guys trying to get their contract over and done with, I guess, or something here. Not the best of cards though, but other obviously they had brought their star power. It's kind of, I guess, this Martin Nagoyan. What the hell happened here? This Martin Nagoyan guy is their champ, so I think he's going to be. Yeah, he's got to be on the headline exactly against Kiyomoe Matsumishimiya. Eddie Alvarez taking on Edward Falong Yang, and Mighty Mouse Johnson taking on Tatsumitsu Wada. Should be a good card with Andrew Ben Bowler bolstering the roster in ONE FC. Going to be going down in the Philippines. Cool, great little card, and I think it's going to turn a few more heads having that heavyweight in there, because they really have, you know what I mean, Brandon Veritas beating up anybody,
yeah.
any nobody that comes over there, basically, you know what I mean.
Brandon Vera has it pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. He's got it really good. Being Filipino, you know what I mean, and being a heavyweight over there was really no competition. Good for him, though. I've always liked Brandon Vera.
Yeah, me too. I wanted him to fight Chuck Liddell back in the day.
Yeah, me too. That would have been a great fight when he was in his heyday. Yeah, before he fought Tim Sylvia. Before he fought Tim Sylvia, he was really a wild man. You know what I mean there?
He's just too small.
Yeah, he's way too... Yeah.
But now he's huge. So...
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people had that problem against Tim Sylvia. You know what I mean? Just because he was so huge.
Yeah.
In other minor league organization news, huge news coming out of Golden Boy MMA. According to Tito Ortiz, Golden Boy MMA is now done. Totally defunct, one and done. Tito reporting this himself on TSN, actually, coming out saying, yeah, he's got the money. Oscar's got the money, but he just doesn't have the know-how of the MMA business. He knows how to run a boxing event, but it's a little bit different for MMA, and just kind of didn't want to do it anymore. Obviously, he probably lost money on his first event, and he just doesn't want to do it. He makes a ton more money in boxing money, I guess, you know, but kind of shitty. I thought we would have seen at least a handful of events, you know what I mean, going down in California. It would have been cool, Kelly? You know what I mean? I did enjoy the first one, and obviously a little bit depressing with Chuck Liddell versus Tito, but still... Still, you know, you want to see that these guys come from these organizations and be their champions, and then eventually move on to the UFC or something like that and become stars. You know what I mean? You kind of want to see those organizations build dudes like TKO did with George St. Pierre, or other organizations building their dudes. You know, the TKO days of old, where it was Diego Sanchez was built up through them. You know, and countless others. You know, Rampage and even Rashad Evans, who was recently inducted to the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? He was a big staple guy there too. It's kind of... You want to see these minor league organizations build these guys, and I thought we could have saw that here, but we didn't. We do not. California's still making fighters like crazy, and I think that's where it's I think UFC has kind of moved away from tapping that potential and moved more international when they should have just stayed at home and tapped right into California again. Dan Hardy wanting to return. He's getting the itch, Kelly. He wants to return. He's waiting for the right moment. But he's saying, you know, that he's more, you know, he's really committed to being a commentator and an analyst. He really takes it seriously and wants to stick with that. But he says, hey, if the money's right, the timing's right, I'm going to put 100% into it. I just can't, I couldn't do both to be respectful towards the UFC. And he takes his job seriously as a commentator to also be a trainer. Be interesting, though. But, you know what I mean? I think as a legend fighter, I think it works for me. You know what I mean? Who do you think he would, who he could fight? You know what I mean? Like BJ Penn, put him, you know what I mean? Put him up, like, you know what I mean? It'd be kind of interesting to see who they put him up against. Maybe, you know, Thiago Alves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I could see that.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight. You know what I mean? That'd be a good, really, really good fight for both those dudes.
He's been out for so long, though.
Yeah. I think his last, when was his last fight? You know what I mean? A long time ago.
2012.
Yeah, that's a long time. That's a long time.
That's crazy. Maybe a rematch against Carlos Condit.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a really good one. I like that. Yeah, I really like that a lot.
It's probably the best one.
Yeah. Yeah, not bad. You know, but a dude who still looks healthy, he's still young. That's what he's saying. He's still young. He still wants to fight. I thought, you know, why not? More power to you, man. Why the hell not? Really? I wouldn't be opposed to that. I totally wouldn't be opposed to that. I got some little bit of nasty news. My man Gegard Musashi talking trash towards Rafael Lovato Jr., accusing him of taking PEDs. Just straight up says he wants to rematch him, but not if he's on PEDs this time. You know what I mean? There's kind of a weird call out. Gegard, you're better than that, man. Come on, you know what I mean? You lost fair and square. Obviously, you know, we did say it, though. You know what I mean? When our last show, when we were reporting on that fight, the dude was jacked.
Yeah.
You know, he was jacked. But apparently he passed his piss test. You know what I mean? Was it his piss? Who knows? You know, but...
Dillashaw passed him piss test, too.
Exactly, right? So who really knows, honestly, but... come on, Gegard. You don't need to go that route, buddy. You're better than that, man. Come on. You beat him in the rematch. You have to come back and train a little harder. But Lovato Jr. is a big dude, just height-wise, too. And he was just jacked up. And obviously, that was his fight to... It was his night. In wrestling news, we got a huge card coming down the pipe here. Out of Mexico, AAA coming up with Triple Mania, where we will see the debut of Cain Velasquez. I am actually pretty excited for this card, man. When is this one? I think this is going down August 2nd as well.
Did you say Kane the Mummy Velasquez? Oh, shit. I'm excited.
August 3rd, it goes down. 1 month away.
I'm excited, man.
I'm excited too.
Do you think he's gonna run towards the ring, or do you think he's gonna have some like help? I don't know.
He's gonna be stretchered down.
He's gonna be stretchered down. Then he's gonna like raise up out of a coffin.
Now you're talking.
And be like, I am Kane, and just start smashing people like in real life. You know, like
I like that. Just
really
beating, beating up the crowd.
Yeah, just like throwing them around. You know, if they
I'll watch that.
If they can't run away from him, they deserve it.
Basically. I'd pay to watch that. I would just like attacking his knees.
Poor guy. I hope he does well, man.
It should be good.
He trained way too hard for MMA, and his body took a beating. Hopefully, he doesn't do the same thing in the WWE.
Yeah. Or some actually really good cards, some really good matches announced for this card here. They got the Copa Triple Mania match, which is like an 8-man battle royale, and the La Gloria. I think it's like a Royal Rumble match. Oh, we have a mask for hair match. Classic Mexican match. Those are just classic. Blue Demon Jr. putting his mask up against Ray Wagner's hair. Crazy. Classic match. Fatal 4-way tag team match. There's this one guy, Nino Hamburgues. He's like real round. Like he's like this is little chubby guy. We're super round, but man, this guy's a crazy ass wrestler. He's got some crazy. Like he's a high flyer. He's got to be like 350 pounds, just round. Like that's the best way to describe him. He's perfectly spherical. You know what I mean? Little chubby guy. It's hilarious. He's going to take on that. He's going to take on Sammy Govea. Where is it here? Big women's match, actually, too, with Tessa Blanchard going to be in it. Ellen Taya. She's from the island. Kelly. So, you know. And where is it? Oh, here it is, because it's going to be Psycho Clown, Cody Rhodes, and Cain Velasquez taking on Takano Jr. and Toros, and to be announced. So it's going to be a special entrance last minute. I always love the special edition that you don't hear about coming down the last second. I love that shit.
I can't wait till Dos Santos comes down and they finally have the rematch, man.
Ooh.
Oh, shit. It's going to be a UFC wrestling match.
I love that.
Herb Dean's going to be the ref. Special ref.
And then we see a rematch, a trios match from their Fighter Fest match, where the Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks will take on Pentagon Jr., Phoenix, and the Laredo Kid. Crazy that those dudes are going to be headlining. Man, Pentagon Jr. just so popular right now. It's fucking insane.
I love Young Buck. His music is awesome, man. The G-Unit crew.
This is the Young Bucks, Kelly. It's like two white guys from the Midwest.
What?
Wrestlers. Two little white guys.
Young Buck. I get it. Like the animal.
You're hilarious. I'm tuning in, man. I'm actually really excited for that. I can't wait for it, actually. SummerSlam right around the corner too.
Speaking of mixed martial artists going to wrestling.
Yeah.
When is Star going to MMA? Does she have?
Oh yeah, good call. Yeah, I don't know if she does have. An official announcement when her fight's actually going to be. I don't think there is.
That's the one I'm looking forward to. I didn't care about CM Punk.
Nobody does. Nobody does. Apparently he's in like a movie now or something.
Yeah, that's good. Do that.
Going to his strengths.
Yeah, do that.
Fake beating people up.
That's just... I hope it doesn't look as bad as it did in the Octagon.
Exactly.
He needs to stick to the wrestling moves. Let's do the wrestling moves on.
Stick to the choreography.
Yeah.
There's in other wrestling news, a huge event was announced. Or it wasn't announced, but it's going to be next weekend, which I'm going to. I couldn't be more excited that I want to talk a little bit about. I'll report on it next show. ECCW Ballroom Brawl 12 at the Commodore Ballroom, man. I always love the Commodore. Great venue. It's the best venue, in my opinion, in Vancouver. Just how intimate it is. Just everything about it. 4 bars, Kelly. You can get food there. You know what I mean? I've seen some of my most favorite shows there, and I couldn't be more excited for it, man. To tell you the truth, what's crazy about it is it's gonna be T.J. Perkins, former WWE 205 Live first champion as well. He'll be the new 205 Live champion. He'll be in there, and even Kevin Sullivan, which is the weirdest thing. But they have like a massive 8 tag elimination tag battle. I can't wait for that. To have 8 tag teams, that's fucking crazy too. Gonna be a really, really good card coming down. I'll have a full report for you guys next week on what happened, how drunk we got, how many waters we had. The crowd's always crazy too. It's actually it's sell out all the time. The crowd's always packed for it. There's local celebrities. It's crazy, man. It's a big deal because the ballroom is beautiful. The Commodore Ballroom is absolutely a beautiful place to go to. I'm fucking super jacked and excited for that. Cannot wait. How's the new? It's now the new era of Apex, Kelly. How is it?
I'm surprised I haven't talked about it already. It seems like I've been playing forever.
He's playing right now.
It really does. It seems like I've been playing for a month already. Yeah, so the new character is out. Sorry, named Watson. She's okay, not as good as I thought it'd be.
How do you find her ability? Does it actually help, or is it kind of a waste?
It's okay. If you're inside a building, you can kind of set up electric fences in front of all the doors and stuff like that. But basically, it just hurts them a little bit and stuns them, kind of like the star thing does. I forget what that's called. So yeah, it was stun them for a little bit. You can actually kill them while they're stunned. It helps a lot, but it's not instant killer or anything like that. And it's pretty easy to shoot and blow up, just one.
Oh,
hit.
really?
Kind of like those balloon things that the Caustic or whatever his name is puts out. You shoot those ones, they kind of pop and then go for a bit.
Right.
But these ones, you shoot once, it kind of breaks the whole thing. So it's not that great. And then, but her little ability, her trophy ability that shoots out things from the sky, that's pretty awesome. That helps a lot.
Really, it does.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
That ability is probably the best ability she has.
Yeah.
She kind of stands out too because of that whole electric backpack thing too.
Oh, what a dumb move! So what does the backpack do? Nothing. It just shows. Oh my god!
It's just kind of aesthetics. So but there's areas where if the circle thing is going in on you, and you're going through these caves or whatever, you can kind of set up the electric fences to catch people that are trying to run through it last minute.
Oh, okay, I see.
You can get them pretty good there. And I think that's probably the best use for it, honestly. If you're just having a firefight and you just put him in front of you while backing up, while repairing and stuff like that.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah.
Because you can kind of hide the poles behind rocks and stuff like that where they can't really shoot them.
Oh, I see. So you come around a corner, all of a sudden, you're just zapped.
Yeah. Or if they see them, they just can't shoot the pole anyway, so they kind of have to go through them.
Oh,
or
crazy.
Blow them up somehow if they have throwables.
Huh.
Yeah, so it can work that way, but it's not great in buildings really, because you can throw grenades in there and just blow them up, or just blow the people up inside the building. You don't want to be trapped in the building anyways. Other than that, the map is kind of cool. There's this huge beast that was outside the map.
Cool. That's what I was gonna ask.
Season, it's inside the map and it kind of moves around a bit.
Is it like super like slow? Like it's massive?
Yeah, it's super slow, but it doesn't really move around too much, and it kind of gives you a warning. But you can kind of see it just like moves his legs around and like kind of steps down.
Right.
And yeah, it can kill you if you're underneath it for sure. They have those pterodactyl things all over.
Oh yeah, how are they? Have you shot any boxes off them?
Oh yeah, it's pretty easy. You
only
really?
Need to
get, like one or two shots off, and then it falls. So you can like pick up the the death box. It's usually not that great of stuff that's in it anyways.
I was thinking, that's almost kind of a good idea to kind of recycle the game, you know what I mean? Just because there's people are going to die with death boxes, kind of, and maybe people never get to them, you know what I mean? So at least this way they're kind of bringing those death boxes into plain sight, so you can at least get them somewhat and kind of have fun at the same time as well, right?
That's true.
It's kind of an interesting way just to how they implemented it just to help with people getting the death boxes, I guess, even if they do suck, right?
So some of the areas of the map have changed.
Oh, cool.
Like they have like these little like stations and stuff like that where like other things have been blown up. So there are changes to the map. But yeah, it's basically the same game, just a new character, new map, kind of like they do with Fortnite and stuff like that.
Right. Oh, cool.
It's fun.
Nice. Maybe I'll play some tonight.
They have a new season battle pass. I don't know. It's everything's kind of like garbage except for like the level 100 stuff, just like last season.
Yeah. Did you ever got any of the new cool skins or anything like that, backgrounds and shit like that?
I got the new like season skins just from like buying the battle pass.
Oh, okay.
But like I've just been like leveling up slowly, basically, and yeah, I just want the level 100 stuff. I don't care about anything else.
Yeah.
It's just crappy skins.
How much was the battle pass?
I think I paid $13.
Oh wow!
For like a certain amount of coins, it's like 1,200 coins or something. But the battle pass is only 950 coins.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I just use the rest on buying like those Apex packs or whatever.
Oh, cool.
Just open those.
No, that's a super smoking deal for a good game like that. It's a good game.
It is. It's fun.
You know what I mean? You got a little bit of new shit too now, so it makes it a lot of fun.
I just find the battle pass gives you something to do. Kind of like just leveling through it. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, big time.
Otherwise, like you don't even level up after level 100, anyways. So you're kind of just like sitting there doing nothing, basically just building up points. Otherwise.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's still a fun game to play. But it's not like Call of Duty where you like get to unlock things.
Yeah.
So I'm leveling up.
I think that's kind of what they did just to make it have purpose. You know what I mean? But I think it's obviously a lot easier for these free games to not, you know what I mean, just to have like a shoot 'em game. You know what I mean? Everyone's on the same playing field, except, you know, everyone character is different.
It's an easy drop-in game.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody just wants to play for, you know what I mean, for a half hour here, a half hour there, you know what I mean? And only thing I would wish, I like, you know what I mean, I know it's a team game, but I wouldn't mind a singles aspect, you know what I mean?
Yeah, same. Like if they had solo.
Yeah, solo. That's what I'm saying.
The three, because man, so many times you get just trash teams where you just want to play alone.
Yeah, exactly. You might as well all the time. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Whereas like I might as well have been alone. You know what I mean? Now I'm up against a team of three. You know what I mean? That's the shitty part, right?
You know what's even worse than getting a trash team? Getting a team of like trash talkers that think they're so fucking good, and then they trash talk you where you're not even having fun.
Oh, exactly. That's stupid.
It's like, man, I'm just playing casually. Oh, I fucking do this for a living, man.
Yeah.
Fucking with my money.
I'm streaming this. I need more Twitch followers.
That's the worst, man. You guys just don't play, or get friends that play, and just only play with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't get mad at other people. This is a game.
Well, especially it's usually the people who are getting mad at the people who are terrible too, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, I get mad at the terrible people, but I don't talk to them. I don't turn on my mic because it's a waste of time and effort. It's more like today I was playing, and this guy was running away from the enemy team, but it was only two guys, right? So I run out, and I drop one of them, and I seriously damage the other one, knock his shield, so damage his life. And the other guy just runs away, and I get dropped by the second guy. And the first guy's almost dead, and he goes over to his teammate, revives him. Meanwhile, my teammate's still running away, and then he starts healing. I'm like, man, the other team's gonna heal now.
Yeah.
But I'm not turning on my mic. I'm just getting frustrated.
Oh my god.
And then he comes out and then he kills my teammate who's fully like shielded up, but who cares? Because now it's 2 against 1 with full shields. And stuff like that, I get frustrated, but I'll never turn on my mic and trash talk them. I don't.
No,
care.
exactly.
I'm not one of those people. I just be like, man, these people are trash.
Noobs.
Pretty much.
Remember, trash talk used to be like such a huge thing on like the 360. I think really changed because the 360, you know what I mean, chat and multiplayer interface. I think was probably the best we have seen. Kind of they've tweaked a bit with too much with it nowadays. You know what I mean? But man, did you ever hear some trash talk back in the day, like Modern Warfare days? You know what I mean?
That was like more trash talk against other teams. Like with this, is basically you can only talk to your own team.
Yeah.
I mean, Call of Duty had it good where it's like if you killed someone, you could hear their mic for like 20 seconds or something like that. Or they could hear yours too.
Yeah, exactly.
So you could totally like talk shit for the next 20 seconds. And then all of a sudden you respawn, and then you're like out for vengeance, right? And you
yeah,
just play
exactly.
even more.
Gonna get that son of a bitch.
It was a good incentive to keep playing and try to kill the other team. But this one is more like you trash talk your own team because they're not as good as you, or not as good as you think you are.
You need an outlet to be able to trash talk the other team. You're not trash talking your own team.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
You hacker.
It should be like, if you come in contact with another team within like a certain amount of space, you should be able to hear them. That would be cool.
That's what they do in Rust. Exactly. You could like just like you can hear somebody. You know what I mean, like kind of normally, right?
But then you couldn't really sneak up on someone unless you're quiet, right?
Yeah, of course.
So then you just have to hush like yourself, and then maybe if you're calling out, you the other team would hear it too. But that's more like in a real situation anyways, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be terrible for all those, everyone you play with those guys, those goddamn losers got so much shit going on in the background that their mic's picking up everything, you know what I mean? Like, nah, Mom, I don't want Cheetos. Not the hard Cheetos, the soft Cheetos.
Nah. Echoing shit.
Nah. Put your shoes on. Nah. It's like, turn on your damn mic, homie.
and then it's like, you're like playing with them. It's like, man, I want everyone to listen to this heat that I got playing in the background. It's like cranking the music. It's like, yeah, I don't listen to that, man. Boom, boom, boom.
And it was like, look. It's like, oh man, I love that song.
It's like you can't even hear the gunfire or footsteps or anything.
That's the worst. He's like a fan in the background, or like his sister or brother's like playing video games on another TV, or listening to music beside him or something. That's the fucking worst.
Or like a heavy breather.
Oh yeah. Oh boy. Oddly enough, I've been now obsessed with Orna. I'm officially obsessed with the game. I fucking love it. I've been playing it so much I didn't even play Zelda this week. I didn't play any Zelda this week. Just been playing Orna. I absolutely love the game. I can't say enough good things about it. It's just so cool. If I can liken it to anything, Kelly, I think it'd actually be like WoW, like World of Warcraft, but you're just going around. You're going around rather than the game. You're actually physically going around. You know what I mean? I think that's just the coolest part about it. Where the battle interface is obviously much more simple. Where it's your simple attacks, elemental damage, versus resistance, and a roll of the dice for criticals and shit like that. But I just think it's one of those just amazing games. I can't say enough good things about it. I don't know what it is. Just the whole aspect of taking stuff over, different enemies. The gear drops are really cool, Kelly. Like, no matter what, like you fight a specific dude, he's going to drop gear that's specific to him. Like you fight these, for instance, like these rune knights, and they only drop rune stuff. You know what I mean? Just little details like that. There's one developer. One guy made this game. The whole fucking thing. And it's just insane because like now I'm leveling up and I'm like every 50 or in every 25 levels something different happens, but I think it's every 50 levels you can change your class and change your profession. So it's you have class and profession in it, this game is fucking super in depth. Like that's why I'm liking it kind of to WoW now, because now I'm choosing a direction to go where I can use my magic.
Is it ad supported?
Is it what?
Ad supported. Like, is it? Does it have ads?
None at all. That's what's fucked. It's free.
It's free.
Totally free. The only thing you can buy like items like gauntlet keys is one cool thing that I've gotten into. Is going into I got a gauntlet keys now. I've done a few gauntlets, and they're actually, the first one kind of caught me off guard with how tough it was. I thought like, oh man, I walk through shit, out and about. I walk through dudes. I'm gonna be fine for this gauntlet, and I really had to change my thinking strategy, because it's 10 dudes one after another. You're poisoned from the one battle, you're gonna be poisoned in the next battle. So it kind of was tough. I lost the first one, but I did win one. At least, and it was a lot of fun. Fighting, because then the final guy's a boss, which the bosses are the shit. Bosses are how you get your stuff, like how you get your experience, your real rare items, and their bosses aren't super common, but they're out there, and you just gotta travel around and out there. That's what I did yesterday. 3 hours on my bicycle, traveling around our city, playing the game. And I had a fucking blast. I had an absolute fucking blast doing the different shit I found. I found 2 different mimic bosses. One was Berserk, which is Berserk is like, they had this little Berserk thing, which helps out, because now it makes that dude extra tough, but in turn, he drops extra good gear, too, and gives you more experience. But this mimic, it's a mimic, Kelly. It's like a treasure chest, that's like actually a monster. You know what I mean? And this one was so powerful, it had another mimic as its pet. A tiny little one. So it was like these 2 treasure chests. I thought that was a really good touch. But I ended up fighting another mimic boss later on, and he gave me like 1 million experience, which is insane. Like, that's just like, you don't see that amount. You know what I mean? Like, fighting other bosses, I may get like 100,000, something like that. You know what I mean? Here, this dude gives me 1 million. It was just different things. It's so fucking different. Everything is in the detail in the game is nuts. The taking over the regions, Kelly. That's, I think, one of my funnest parts is taking over the regions. So like it's almost like a 4 block, or it's like a 1 block radius almost, is these each different little parchments of land that you become the Duke of. And unfortunately, there's a dude who's super high up. There's 50,000 people play this game, and which is kind of small really for a worldwide game. But there's one dude, he's like ranked fucking 28th, and unfortunately he's in our neighborhood. Like, he lives in our area in the Lower Mainland somewhere, or he's GPS hacking, because he's got like huge sections of areas.
We're all coming for you, brother.
No, he's too tough. That's the thing. He's so tough.
We're gonna team up.
You better watch where you're looking, brother. Keep one eye over your shoulder, because we're coming for you.
Oh, yeah.
But what a fucking amazing game, man. So much fun. And there's dungeons. The buildings the buildings you come up against are really, really cool. You can build your own building. You build a keep. You have a smith, which you upgrade your weapons with. A normal merchant where you can buy stuff. But if you build the merchant, you can upgrade it too. And if you upgrade it, it'll have more stuff, and you can keep upgrading for quite some time. It's kind of interesting too. Even if you build a store, you don't get a profit from, but it actually tell you how much items your store has sold, which is kind of like little things like that. Like, one dude made this game, Kelly. You know what I mean? Like, how cool is that? And like, stores, you can put stores anywhere. You know what I mean? I can build a store here. You know what I mean? So it's just really, really cool. I just feel sorry for all the dudes. Unfortunately, my guy's pretty tough. And all the guys that wasn't that one character who's super high up, I just mopped the floor with them. I was taking over territories everywhere. I had just had a fucking blast yesterday, riding my bike around. You know what I mean? It was a great feeling. It was a little bit of rain yesterday, but rain in the summertime wasn't bad. I just had an absolute blast, and I can't say enough good things about the game. Honestly, if you're into RPGs, and if you like. If you kind of like, GPSing around, you know what I mean? That's the hard part. You actually got to get around. Your Ruckus would be perfect for it, man. Because the thing about Pokemon is they have a restriction when you're going fast. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The game will just block out when you're going fast, right? Over 30 kilometers an hour. This game doesn't have that restriction. You know what I mean? So riding a bicycle and like on the bus and the SkyTrain, it's actually a lot of fun. Moving on, though. Bringing more Orna talk next week. Check it out, ORNA. Just a phone game, folks. The video games we are going to be seeing is just the tip of the iceberg of how crazy video games is going to be. With Stadia, with the different games, how technology has kind of just doubled itself again, and with with the 5G shit coming out, what's gonna. Have you seen the Huawei commercials with all this glass stuff? You know what I mean? The glasses are gonna, Now there's glasses where you can like they have speakers built into them, and you can have like your phone Bluetooth to glasses now. I think they're really trying to change it over to glasses now. It's gonna be the new big thing, being able to watch TV in your glasses. Sounds terrible to me.
I wonder what kind of resolution it has and also how much it costs.
A lot.
Because, yeah, if it costs way too much, no one's going to buy it. It's not like everybody has a VR kit in their house with the Oculus Rift and shit like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that shit's cool as hell, but it's not like everybody can afford that either. It's going to be a niche market at best. I don't know how well it's going to sell. It might be like the Google Lens if it costs too much.
That's true, but maybe they have the technology to do it now. We'll find out. Only time will tell. Kelly, you got to play Orna. I'm telling you. It's like WoW. Seriously, give it a shot. Give it a shot. Back by popular demand. Reviewing the reviews. This week, up here in Canada, we have these massive shopping places called Superstore. I don't think they have them in the States. They don't got them in the States. Good places to go to shop. I don't mind going to them. They ain't bad at all. We got a bunch of them here. This one here, the one I picked, it's not the closest one, but it's one that I know well. 4 stars, 2,211 reviews. So that's actually pretty good to have 4 stars on that. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. Let's get started here with this one here. This person was mad, but still gave him 2 stars. CC 4 days ago. Wow, that's a fresh one. That's a real fresh one here. This person's mad. CC, only 46 reviews. Said, I hate this place and avoid this particular location due to long lineups and abundance of rude customers who have no idea about keeping their buggies over to the side when they stop or keeping right in the aisles. I agree, that is annoying for anywhere. Like, come on, people. But still, you can't blame the store because of the customers here. That's what we're seeing. I hate the place because of the other people like me who go here. You're reviewing the people, lady. The one saving grace is the self-service checkout lineup is not usually as long, though not all the time. Also, I am constantly seeing people in the washroom leave without washing their hands. Just hanging out in the bathroom.
These customers aren't washing their hands, and they're leaving the buggies in the middle of the aisle.
Do you hear this, though? She is basically reviewing it not on Superstore itself, but on the people who go there and shop.
Nice.
But she's giving the store 2 stars. You know what I mean? Nice. It's your fault you're so popular and everyone shops here. That's your problem. You know what I mean? How psychotic is this person?
Damn.
Oh, man. This... Oh boy. This makes me worry about carrying those baskets around. I make a habit of washing my hands the minute I get home from there, and my hands always have dark water run off. Ah, that's disgusting. What are you touching? Dark water run off from the baskets? I've never had that from anywhere I go to. That is disgusting. I bet the basket handles have never, ever been washed. Once. This person.
That's probably right.
Yeah, that's 100% right. But what a psychotic person. I love that. 5 stars. I'm giving that review 5 stars for just being a straight psycho. That's why this segment always amazes me, Kelly, with the shit like this. They gave a store 2 stars on the customers. I can't believe that. I can't absolutely believe that, man. That's the best. That's the best.
That's pretty great.
It is, isn't it? Who would do that? A psycho person. Oh, this is a good one too. Man, this is all gold here. I didn't expect this much good. I'm just briefly browsing through. This is all gold. I love this. SS only has 9 reviews 4 weeks ago. He's got 1 photo too. 3 stars. 3 stars. A great grocery store with great prices. The only downside would be that their signs aren't organized the best way. And sometimes you aren't able to find everything. Sign organization. What? Where do you even start with this dude? Also, if you need help, then you have to go searching across the entire store to ask someone. They hardly have any people in the aisles.
So keep the prices so low.
Oh, exactly. They don't hire people. Weird. They still gave him 3 stars, though. That was a very negative review.
Yeah.
But only gave him 3 stars due to their lack of signage or people to ask for help. I'm giving you 3 stars, SS. Here's another perfect example of people hating on the other people. We need an app where I can review somebody. You know, Carol Smith, you get 1 star for being a bitch.
Oh man, there's a website.
Yeah, the dirty, but that's a little bit different. That's more like scorned lovers.
That's true.
They're not getting a rating either. It's just more like, here's this bitch. She banged my best friend. That's it.
Made me sad, so I wrote a review.
Exactly.
1 star.
This person here has got 3 letters. SRC. 1 star 5 days ago. Only 33 reviews. And once again, it was so weird. People can't drive very well in the parking lot. Though traffic have the right of way. But these morons just back out whenever. I'd rather not shop here. Superstore claims to be the best place to buy groceries for low costs. But that is total BS.
Because people are backing out without looking.
1 star.
1 star.
1 star. And I gotta get to you fucking SRC for a terrible review. Number one, Superstore is the cheapest price for a grocery store. Bar down. Number 1. Number 2, you're going to blame it on the parking. The fucking parking. It's like a Costco. America's got Costco. Everyone's got Costco's too, right? Those fucking parking lots are madhouses. That's the one thing you're going to complain about. That's obvious. That's like the most obvious point. When you go to these places, you're going to expect to have to park like super far back in the nosebleeds. And I hate, dipping and dodging and trying to find a spot. I fucking hate that. I can't stand that shit. But that's going to be the number one thing. You're going to review the mall for that? Oh, mall. I'm going to review the mall. Terrible parking.
1 star.
Exactly. Your popularity annoys me, and I'm going to give you a 1 star on that. This shit is insane, man. All right, let's do this one short and sweet here. Last one here. We're kind of running on time here. And this one's probably the craziest. EM 53 reviews, 4 stars they gave them 2 months ago. Let's see here. Pleasant service. Full cart was blocking the natural foods aisle. How? Somebody was shopping and they put their food there. They put their cart there. How dare they? That's
Nothing
hilarious.
you can do about it.
Organics are spread all over the store. Very hard to quickly find organic items. Was better before the renovation. 4 stars.
They probably just put organic spaghetti with spaghetti.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not just in one aisle.
I'd rather have it that way rather than having just the organic aisle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hate that. They aren't trying to discriminate against the organic people. They want to blend it all in together.
Are they doing the pickups?
I think they do.
Yeah, it's probably easier for the people that actually pick the food too.
Yeah, big time. That's what I should start doing. But still, like, how hilarious is that? You know what I mean? They had a terrible organic experience. Oh, there was a lot of other bad people, but let's move on here. Let's take a quick little breather here. That was a good one. Superstore worked. I could just tell. You could just tell people we got that in spades. There was just so many cycles right off the bat. That was insane. Oh, we'll be right back, folks, after these brief messages. This summer, stay out of the water. Coming to theaters. Once it was calm and supple. Now it is a raging rapids. Water. In theaters, August 27th. Have you ever been to the movie theater and had too much popcorn and were thirsty as hell? Ah! This pop ain't doing anything for my thirst. If only there was a way I could wet from all this popcorn and weed I smoked. Try water. Woo, golly. I got saliva again. Thank you, water. Now I can watch this movie and eat more popcorn. Ah, thank you.
Horses. You can ride them. Horses, not just for glue.
Welcome back, folks. Hope you enjoyed our commercials and go grab yourself a cold, tall glass of water on the house. Tap water, that is. Did we ever have one hell of a UFC last night with a broken record? That's kind of what I want to touch off on first. Is we've kind of talked about this before. We were talking about last show too. We're gonna do like a haul of the toughest of the tough, the pound for pound list for the and new podcast. And we talked a little bit over last week. And we got Gegard Musashi in there, slam dunk. Gegard Musashi, Robbie Lawler. Slam dunk. He's in there too. Anyone you want to add in there, Kelly? Anyone you can think off the top of your head?
Rory McDonald.
Rory McDonald. I don't think he makes. He doesn't make it. He's kind of lost that. He was still the old Rory McDonald, I'd say so. True. Yeah, he's kind of weird now. But the man who fought last night, breaking the record for the fastest knockout in UFC history. My man, Jorge Gamebred Masvidal with a bullet. Like, this dude has found some way to reinvent himself, Kelly, especially at 170. Like, what? And his name says it all. Look how many fights he's got, Kelly. Look how many he's got. 47 fights, too. 47 professional MMA fights. Like, that's insane. 15 KO wins. 2 submission wins, 17 decisions, and only 1 KO, only 2 submission losses, and 10 decision losses. So the dude's tough as fucking nails. You know, fighting out of Miami, Florida. He's still young too. He's only 34 years old. You know what I mean? Still young for fighters. Still got like easily 6 years left in him. But he's just peaking at the perfect time. Like, just what a huge list of fighters he has fought when he comes. His first loss coming to Rafael Sunsao. Like, how crazy is that? And only by decision. Then he actually beat Joe Lozon way back when too in 2005. That's a pretty big win for back then too. You know, both up and comers at the time. Losing again to Paul Rodriguez, but that was his only submission loss. And then kind of goes on a one hell of a tear for Bodog. Crazy enough, beating Eves Edwards by KO head kick. That's pretty crazy. Matt Lee, Ryan Healy too. That's a big one on his Strikeforce debut. Oh no, sorry, there was a second Strikeforce event. Strikeforce used to be really underground too. They used to be really underground. Going over to Sengoku and losing to Rodrigo Dam after that too. TKO of all things too. And then beating Ryan Scholes. That was a big win over in Sengoku. Kind of going on a tear, beating Tai Hoon Bang as well. And then moving over to Bellator, where he kind of got posterized by Tobi Amada with that reverse triangle choke. That was a crazy one. He got choked out cold. It was kind of didn't see it coming, kind of tricked him a little bit. Beating a Japanese legend later on in Kedoka too, losing to Luis Palomino only by split decision. That's a tough dude too. Losing to Paul Daly and over in super fights, crazy. Only by decision though. That's a tough fight. I think one of his biggest wins is earlier on was KJ Noons, where he destroyed KJ Kelly. That was a crazy fight for Strikeforce as well. Losing to Gilbert Melendez like most people did back then to Strikeforce, only by decision as well, beating Justin Wilcox, Tim Means, choking out Michael Chiesa. That's kind of crazy too. And then losing to Kabalov by decision, beating Pat Healy again, and then now his UFC streak kind of starts here, coming over from Strikeforce, I guess. Beating James Krause, losing split decision to Ally Aquinta too. Like, what a crazy one that would have been. Beating Cesar Favara by KO, losing to Benson Henderson by split, losing to Lorenzo Larkins by split. Like, man, the split decision, man, beating Ross Pearson, knocking out Jake Ellenberger, and I think he TKO'd Donald Cerrone too. Huge win if you can beat Cerrone. And then kind of stumbling then against Maya, stumbling to Stephen Thompson, but he didn't get finished by Stephen Thompson. That was a tough fight to move up. I think that was his that was his second 170 fight, was against Stephen Thompson. And then obviously, most recently, the shocking KO of Darren Till, and then the huge KO of Ben Askren, fastest knockout in UFC history in 5 seconds. Cannot say enough good stuff about Jorge Masvidal. I can't wait for his next fight. Is it going to be the title shot, Kelly?
Yeah, I think it has to be.
It has to be. How nuts is that? You know what I mean?
It's got so much hype right now with the fastest KO ever. Like, they gotta sell the shit out of that. It's gonna be highlight reel. It's gonna be gifted.
He got gifted for sure. Ben Askren got gifted in a half. He got knocked out so bad. I don't know. Maybe he takes a step back from fighting right now. That was a bad knockout. He got fucked up.
He made history.
Yeah, he made
in the history books.
He did it.
Every time they talk about the fastest this or the fastest that, he's gonna be there.
Yep. 5 seconds. Knockout king. Knocked out king.
Oh man. Now that's the one everybody wants to see too. Like, what's the fastest knockout?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're a society. That's what we want. Instant gratification. That gets more quicker than that.
Yeah. It's like 5-second clip.
Yeah, exactly. That's what a finish, man. What a win. I was on my feet. I couldn't believe it. I absolutely couldn't believe it. Just the way he did it too. You know what I mean? Just the way he did it. Amazing.
And I love how he was like able to imitate how Ben was like fell and he was like just stiff, you know.
Yeah, I pissed myself laughing after that too. That was pretty so funny. Yeah.
Like,
that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. Yeah.
I don't think I describe it.
No, I hear. I know. I think people can just picture through their mind, Kelly. I know what you're talking about. Like the dead fish, dead fish look. Yeah, that was hilarious. You know, that's the thing too. Don't talk trash. Well, no, don't talk trash. No, it's the hilarious thing. You know what I mean? Ben Askren tried to, you know what I mean, maybe was it for the show or, you know, maybe it was it to try to get into his head. But I have heard from other people that Ben Askren is a piece of shit. You know what I mean? From other fighters, he's not well liked. And maybe he's, you know what I mean, just pissed off the wrong dude.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be suspended for a while, anyways.
Oh, big time. That was
at least
that
6 months.
at least with that knockout.
Yeah.
Oh man, at least absolutely.
So, but I would take a year if I was him.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't do any sparring to the head at all.
No, especially if you want to have fight again. That knockout will change him for sure.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, just the way he fell and everything, that was a knockout and a half. All right, let's break down the card. Starting with the undercard. Penny Kindside coming from the Ultimate Fighter show. She loses her last second replacement against Julia Avila. Kindside was quite the underdog, and I'm glad I didn't take that bet because she ends up losing. I thought she had a good chance, though. Jack Marshman goes down to rear naked choke to Edmund Shaibazan. And, the big knockout, big KO on the undercard, too, was Yadong Song versus Alejandro Perez. That was a crazy knockout. That dude got knocked the fuck out. Claudia Gadelha gets back into the winning column, but unfortunately it has to be at the stake of Ronda Marcos. She was on quite a good streak, 2-fight win streak, and now she's lost now too. But Claudia Gadelha is one of the toughest. She come out and said she's changed her camp up. She kind of didn't really feel at home, and I guess in Florida, and moved up to New Jersey. And has been training up in New Jersey. So she said she's really liking a lot of Brazilians and people from South America when they do come to train in America. Some are moving up to New Jersey now. They did just like it, I guess, more. I'm sure the Miami party life is pretty crazy as opposed to New Jersey.
I was looking forward to this fight, but man, all they did was throw feints in front of each other the whole time, and hardly any action the whole fight.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was super slow. And afterwards she was saying, now I'm a complete MMA fighter, I'm not just a brawler. Is what, like a complete MMA fighter, just standing and throwing feints the whole time? And she's like, oh, my cardio's great now, I went the whole 5 rounds, I wasn't tired. Yeah, because you weren't grappling or anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the whole fight, they weren't moving around too much. It was just more Claudia pushing Ronda up into the cage the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like octagon control.
Right.
That's what won her the fight, basically. In my opinion.
Still, that's not what you want to see a finish, right? You want to see someone trying to go for the finish, not trying to ground up. Maybe that's what it was. It was two fighters who were scared, too scared for that loss, really. You know what I mean? Where one person's going to take quite the tumble if they lose this fight. Marlon Vera has a great comeback win against Noheem Hernandez. It was actually a pretty good fight. Hernandez was I think a 5-day replacement, Kelly. Like he's had a 5-day notice for this fight, but good balls on that dude to come in and take on Marlon Vera. Very tough dude. And man, he almost won it there. At the end of the first round, he had some really good ground and pound going. And I think he just kind of caught Vera just off guard a little bit, but second round, he came in with a huge flying knee and landed that huge flying knee, and Hernandez just really couldn't get his feet underneath him after that, and Vera gets full mount and just kind of pounds him out, and then forces the choke. Good fight, good comeback for Vera. Arnold Allen stinks it up against Gilbert Melendez. I think maybe it's more Gilbert Melendez kind of not, kind of maybe being done. I think with that show. I think it was at 145 too. I think he's got to move up to 170 or something. He just didn't look healthy, I think was his biggest problem. But there's another dude, I think he just lost his killer instinct in Gilbert Melendez. It was really, Arnold Allen did good, but he just didn't really amaze me at all. He put on a good show and did what he had to do to win. But he just didn't look great, but he won handily, all 3 rounds easily. And then a similar matchup was the next one was Chiesa versus Sanchez, where it was the same thing, kind of just one dude bullying an older dude. Really, that's all we saw, and especially the size matchup with Chiesa versus Sanchez was huge. He was way bigger than him. You know what I mean? It was almost like a foot taller. And Sanchez didn't go out, but there wasn't really much he could do in that match. It was kind of depressing watching that one because the dude from season 1 of The Ultimate Fighter, he'll still get a few more fights too. What's crazy, if you put him up against BJ Penn now, BJ did beat him the first time, whooped his ass, but I think Diego would win the rematch. You know what I mean? Like, how fucked up is that?
I think so too. Diego's still fighting. That's the thing. He's not getting his ass whooped even though he got controlled.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like he got destroyed.
No.
Did tons of damage. He's always in it. He's always fighting.
He never gave up. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, he's just not. He's like a gatekeeper. He's just not up in that level.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think he beats BJ now.
Yeah, I think that's a good call, even for Diego to be a gatekeeper now. That's not bad. I think I don't know if he's top 10. I think like maybe 11th. You know what I mean? But I think that's a good number. That's a good number.
He'd be like the top 10 gatekeeper.
Yeah, exactly. You want to get in the top 10, you got to beat him. Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. Wasn't a great fight because it was almost like Chiesa could have finished it a few times, but he didn't. I thought it was a kind of a weird matchup. It didn't wow me again. So we had like kind of two stinkers there a little bit. But obviously, with all the other fights afterwards, it got pretty fucking crazy. If you haven't seen this card, watch the rematch. It's not very long. We see Jan Blachowicz welcome Luke Rockhold to the 205 division with a broken jaw, KOing him in the second round. And I even called it, man. Blachowicz was really implementing this great game plan of punching out of the clinch. Like going for a sneaky shot. And in the first round, he missed two of them. Were right off of the clinch. He pushes away on the clinch and throws a quick punch right to the jaw. He missed both of them, but he did not miss in the third round where he cranks Rockhold, breaking his jaw and then smashing him again on the ground. Rockhold it was super wobbly to get up. I think it's definitely time for Luke Rockhold to hang him up. Even Dana White himself saying he wants him to retire. What do you think, Kelly?
I agree. He's been knocked down so many times, knocked out so many times. It's gonna take a lot of brain damage, man. He's gonna be stuttering worse than I do.
Worse than me. Yeah, big time. Especially if he has a gig outside of it. You know what I mean? Go for it. Just go be a model and call it a day. Hey, say you were an MMA fighter. You were the 185-pound champ. Nothing to be ashamed of. You were the Strikeforce champ, too. You had a good career. Just now it's about your health. You know what I mean? It's time to hang him up. You know what I mean? He's had a better career than most people in the world. So time to hang it up. I liked Luke Rockhold. You know what I mean? I thought his Yoel Romero loss was kind of like where I saw the you know what I mean, the writing on the wall for him.
Yeah.
I think he kind of got broken after that, and I just don't think he ever really healed up properly after that. Like where his orbital, maybe, something got broken in his face or something, and he never been able to take a punch ever since. And then we bring it to the baddest man on the planet, Jorge Masvidal, knocking out Ben Askren 5 seconds. I just love how he did it too. Like he's like so far back up against the fence. He's got his back up against the fence with his hands behind his back and with a smile on his face. And then as soon as the bell rings, he kind of just tiptoes out and then sprints. Double pump, knee knockout, to follow it up with those two punches. That's what's the craziest thing about this knockout. It probably was actually closer to 3-4 seconds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there was that extra second where he got those two other punches in, you know what I mean? Where Askren was already dead, already out. Get those two punches in. Oh, man. I just love the guy. He's just the coolest dude in the UFC right now. Jorge Masvidal. Super cool. And then we get to the co-main event of the evening. Amanda Nunes sealing her ticket once again into the record books, Kelly, with this KO win. We have a champ defend a title, first time ever, and we see it here with Amanda Nunes, someone who didn't have to relinquish a belt, didn't, lose one of the belts, didn't retire or, want to end on a high note with two belts on like somebody, actually defends one of those two belts and in a KO fashion of easily the top contender. Very easily in Holly Holm, being the top contender in all the women's divisions she can fit into. You know what I mean? And to come out now, she's KO'd Ronda Rousey. You know what I mean? She's tapped out Misha Tate. She KO'd fucking Cyborg. And now here she has another TKO win over Holly Holm. Like,
Talk
wow.
about pound for pound best.
Yeah.
She is.
Easily.
In the women's division, she's the pound for pound best fighter ever.
Easily. Yeah. Of women's MMA of all time. Absolutely. Bar none. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Because she's beaten them all.
She's done what Ronda hasn't even done and knocked out Chris.
Yeah, exactly. No one's done that. You know what I mean? Even for her, like, you know, say, like, you know, if they fought like 10 years ago, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still think Amanda Nunes, if it was Amanda Nunes now for Chris Cyborg 10 years ago, I think Amanda Nunes still wins.
Yeah. Same with Ronda.
I don't think Chris Cyborg was that big at that time, too. She wasn't, like, muscular, you know what I mean, in her younger years, you know what I mean? Yeah, same with Ronda Rousey, too. Yeah, I think she would kick the shit out of Ronda Rousey, yeah. Who did she... Because she kind of had found herself, I think, a little bit. Let's break it down here. And 6 degrees of separation. Amanda Lioness Nunez. Wow, she hasn't lost in a long time. Kat Zingano is who it was. In 2014, she lost to. She got TKO'd. She's also lost to it was an Invicta. Sarah Diallo. Alexis Davis she's lost to too.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
TKO'd by her.
Wow.
Yeah, she beat Julia Budd, who's the current Bellator champ. She TKO'd her, and then and she lost her first fight, like a lot of Brazilians do. She lost her first fight. Quite the list, though. You know. Oh, she's also beat Jermaine Duranda by TKO as well. So she's got a leg kicking Shayna Baszler, choking out Sarah McCann, going to decision with Shevchenko. Man, she can go for a third belt. I don't think she can get down to that weight though. That'd be a tough weight cut. Yeah, exactly. Look at the tear she's been on, and then beating Shevchenko again. That's crazy. Beating Misha Tate, beating Ronda Rousey. What a fucking list of people ever since then. Like her winning streak, Shayna Baszler, who's like the NXT women's champ right now, in wrestling. Beating Sarah McCann, who's an Olympic wrestler. Beating Valentina Shevchenko, who's a champion as well. Beating Misha Tate to take her belt. Beating Ronda Rousey. Beating Shevchenko again. Like the total drubbing of Raquel Pennington. Like that was just like probably one of the worst beatdowns I've ever seen. Man or woman. That's a pretty bad one. Knocking out Cyborg and then now knocking out Holly Holm. Like, what a fucking run she has been on. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Hats off to Amanda Nunes. It's just, what a treat it was to see history happen with her and with Jorge. Couldn't be more happier. Does she retire now though, Kelly?
I hope not.
Yeah, me too. I know. Like, how many fights do you think she has left?
Oh man, tough to call. It really depends on how the next couple look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they're that bad, then maybe call it after that.
I'm saying 2. If she wins 2 more.
Yeah.
Who else she gonna fight, right?
Yeah.
Who else she gonna fight? So I think 2 more fights, they find somebody or whatever. We'll see somebody come up and then that's it.
Because if she just destroys the next 2 people, like who's she gonna fight?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. They're gonna have a hard time scrounging up 2 people.
Yeah. For
her to fight, and probably one of those would have to be Cyborg. You know what I mean?
Because I think all the good fighters have been. She's walked through them.
She beat the shit out of all of them. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, it really depends on
That's hilarious.
I don't want to see a beat down. I want to see a fight.
Yeah, but who could even be that person? Gina Carano.
Coming back.
One thing I gotta say is I thought it was weird to see Chael's son in there. I thought that was super odd. I know he's retired and everything, but he still works for Bellator as far as I know. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe his contract ran up that day too. And now, but that'd be crazy for him to actually work for Bellator and UFC?
Yeah.
To be an analyst? That'd be crazy. An analyst? That'd be crazy.
What Amanda versus Joe Rogan.
Wow.
Super fight, same weight.
I
don't know how much Joe Rogan's head weighs though.
That's
heavy.
200 pounds right there. That's what we were even talking about last night. Like Conor McGregor versus Amanda Nunes. You know what I mean? I think she'd win.
Yeah, I could see that.
She's a beast.
She's one of those rare women who can believe in her knockout power because she can knock people out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, she has confidence behind it, so she throws it like she means it.
I love how she threw that head kick earlier in the round, too, and it blocked, and I thought, ooh, that's a heavy head kick. Like, Holly Holm lucky she blocked that, but then as soon as she saw Holly put her hands down for 1 second when she kind of had her on the ropes there a little bit, she cranks her with that kick.
Bad intentions.
Exactly. Yeah, just cranked her with that. Bad intentions.
Even the picture, like her face, she's like so angry. She's like, ah! Like,
yeah, exactly.
That kick, man.
Winning that money, good for her.
Yeah.
That brings us to the main event of the evening: John Bones Jones versus Thiago Marreta Santos. It wasn't a great fight. I think they both injured their legs, obviously, so that's why it was. You know what I mean? I think it happened. I think in like the third, or no, it was like a second for Thiago, and I think a third for John Jones. And you know, once those dudes' legs injure themselves, they were too tough to go down, but too tired to go on. You know, really. So it was you know that was pretty much the it of it. You know what I mean? I had a bit of to Thiago, at least 2 rounds, actually. I gave Thiago 2 rounds just for aggression in those. Even though his leg was messed up, he seemed to still want to try to get the win. And he was chasing him down, but John Jones was kind of doing a little bit of running near the end. John Jones did enough, I think, to get the win. Very, very tough fight to call past those first 2 rounds, just because they both were obviously injured. Yeah. Like you said, Kelly, a draw. You know, I mean, I wouldn't even have been opposed to that too. Because John Jones would have still been the champ. But
it'd be interesting to see how that fight played out if they weren't injured.
Yeah.
Like if John Jones had his full movement, he could do all the kicks that he usually does.
Yeah.
And not have to worry about the pain from getting, kicking the guy's shin and stuff like that. Even throwing punches would be like hindered his punch strength.
Big time.
And everything. So. It'd be interesting because he was like hobbling out of there.
Yeah, exactly. And even Thiago Santos, you know what I mean? He was still throwing, even with his busted up knee. He was still throwing and like falling down because his knee would just give out. You know what I mean? So the heart on Thiago Santos was huge that night. I think they both have to fight different people, and then if they win, they will meet again. Maybe we'll see a rematch with Anthony Smith versus Thiago Santos. Maybe we see somebody new kind of get thrown in the mix to see who's going to be the next one. Just, Anthony Smith's big win over Gustafsson, that's got to put him right back in the title contention again, too. But we will see what happens down the road with that. All in all, great card. Great card. I really, really loved it.
Anthony Smith versus Santos.
Yeah. They fought already, and Thiago Santos has beat him. But I'm just, out of the 205s, there's really not all that much right now, that aren't already tied up or have already lost to John Jones or Thiago Santos. Jimmy Manowa's retired. Blachowicz, that was a big win for him too. But still, these guys have fought too. I don't see them giving Blachowicz a title shot. That's a bit absurd. He's a tough dude, but I don't see him giving any trouble really to John Jones.
Do you think that his tattoo of Thor's hammer gives him extra strength?
100%.
Nice. That's what I thought.
100%.
It's like magical.
I want to get one myself.
Do you think if Thor called for his hammer, Santos would fly towards
possibly.
him?
Possibly.
Just twirling towards him through the sky. I could see that.
A lot of people are hating on it. I don't mind it. I think it's kind of cool. Whatever. He's a fighter.
It's quite the commitment to take up that much real estate.
Big
for
time.
One hammer. But if he likes it, that's what it's about.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the thought process I'm on too. Whatever. If he wants, you can do whatever he wants to do.
A lot of people hating on other people's tattoos.
Hating.
It affects them somehow.
Haters be hating.
It's like, I guarantee you they didn't get that tattoo for you.
Exactly. And it's usually people who are, throwing stones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got some bad tattoos themselves. All right, buddy. That about wraps it up. Wow, we actually fucking ran pretty good on this show.
Nice.
It's crazy. All right, my man. Well, that about wraps it up here for the Stephen and Kelly's and New Podcast. Check us out on Twitter, folks, @andnewpodcast. And hit us up with some love, some hate, whatever you got. We will be coming right back to you next week with a full report on ECCW. I think there's Bellator's next weekend, too. Bellator's coming up. Well, for co-host and producer extraordinaire Kelly, my name is Steven, and you've been listening to the New Podcast. Signing off.